Well, it's a creative way to personalize and add a springtime touch to a candle. Julie Flanagan from Art-Rageous Studios shows us another way to use dried flowers. I'm taking a look at this. We're just seeing bursts of nature throughout all of these.
I know, isn't it fun to see your garden coming indoors?
Oh my gosh.
And I've refused them on with wax. We'll show you how in a few minutes. These are actually going to be my party favors for Easter.
Oh.
There'll be one at every place setting, and they'll get to take them home with their flowers from my garden in them.
See, look at you doing the most. I'm like, this is just the great pop of spring, and of course for Easter, that'll be amazing. You know, let's talk about this. Are certain flowers better to use than others?
Yeah, well, you know, I have many varieties here. I have Walmart, and then I have Trader Joe's over here.
Okay. So
basically, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I just went to the cheapest places: Trader Joe's, Walmart, Price Chopper.
Okay.
And you just experiment. I like the ones with the sheer petals. They have a gradual transition of color from one to another on a petal, which is always a lovely thing to see.
Okay.
If they're too bulky, they're not going to fuse well. But honestly, you can dig a hole into the candle and create a little nest for the flower, and it can fuse into the candle, even if it's fat. So there's really no right or wrong flower, just up to your taste.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So,
and of course you're using that drying technique. I can see it even on a thank you card up there.
So everybody's seen the dried flower cards at Hallmark stores and stuff, but you don't have to do that. You can do that yourself. You can get Mod Podge that's got the matte finish, which is non-shiny, and you can just paint a little Mod Podge onto the card and a little Mod Podge on the top. Goes on white, dries clear in about 10 minutes, and then you can put it in the mail and send it to someone with your own flower from your garden on your thank you note or whatever. So.
Well, that's so sweet. And then we've got some pressed flowers up there. What are those for?
Oh gosh, wait till you hear this. I got this off of Pinterest, I've got to admit, but it's excellent. So you can actually use a dried flower blossom on your skin as a temporary tattoo, just leaving it on to your skin. How does it stay on there? You use false eyelash glue underneath and on top of, and that will fuse it to the skin.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Isn't that
and you
fun?
can walk around with a little burst of spring
on your little hand, you know, like something fun.
Yeah, just come a little closer to me for a second. Okay, perfect. So now let's also talk about how we could make this beautiful candle that you're giving away as Easter gifts.
Okay, it's really not hard. It's a very primitive process. It's been used since the ancient Egyptian times. We're going to heat these spoons.
Okay.
And this is going to be what melts the wax, just about a ½ inch to kind of get that heat onto the back of the spoon. We're letting the soot happen on the inside because we don't want that touching our flowers.
Right, okay.
So we'll count to 20 and get it nice and warm. And then we're going to lay our candles on the paper towel so they don't roll around. And I'm going to lay mine at an angle. So with this nice and hot, you just use the back of the spoon directly onto the flower and just roll the spoon around. And it won't work at the beginning. You got to give it a little time. Mine's a really stiff flower, and I'm going to need to get a little hotter. But yeah, go ahead and use the back, and just don't slide the spoon, just roll it. And what happens is the wax underneath the flower begins to melt and fuses the flower petal to the candle.
Julie, I'm getting a little magic over here. I think if I stood
good.
this
You're having better luck than me. I think I picked too stiff of a flower.
This is wonderful.
It'll work. If you get a stiff situation like mine, you could use a heat gun and just heat, or don't use a blow dryer. It's too much wind, and then that'll work just great. And that's how I did my big candle, which we'll look at in a minute. But I did get some of it fused.
Okay.
So you see how that works?
Yeah, that is wonderful. And we can even
and that's
pick
all there is to
flower.
it. Sure. Yeah, keep going.
You know, let's
I'm going to borrow one of yours.
What about selecting these flowers? You know, do certain kinds work better than others?
Well, for the candle, you do want to use a little thinner when you're using the spoon technique, because the spoon is a very primitive way to heat it, and a lot of you guys don't have hot heat guns at your house. People do use, online people have used the blow dryers, but I find it's just way too much hassle. It blows all your pretty flowers all over the place.
Oh yeah. Now,
So
do people
for
ever
this
use
stem,
glue?
No, you don't want to use glue because wax and glue don't work together.
Okay.
For this stem, I'm going to gouge with my knife.
Oh my gosh.
And then when I heat this, the stem will go into the gouge.
Okay, Julie, here's my, finished product. And
Belinda, you got a gift for this.
Okay.
Mine bombed and yours turned out great.
Julie's amazing. She makes art a positive experience, and she's one of the artists selected to show her work at the Prairie Village Art Fair in May. After that, she'll be offering summer classes at her studio.